Hi guys, very good evening to you. Welcome to the video number 300 and my name is Ajay. In this video I'm going to talk about the difference basically between the different error handler functions which we have in the VLOOKUP. As you can see on the screen, I'm going to talk about the ISERROR, ISERROR, IFERROR and ISERR. Right, so if you're watching the channel for the first time, then I welcome you to the channel and I hope you will enjoy this video. And also I want to tell you that we have 42 playlists on Excel, VBA, Access and Access VBA. Scroll it down and you will find the videos on almost every subject, right? Be it Excel or Excel VBA, Access or Access VBA, you just need to click on the required category and you can find the basic, advanced and the intermediate level of the videos. Enjoy your learning, and if you have anything which is troubling you, please go ahead and leave your comment. I will upload the video on the same. That's how I do the things, guys. And if you know my channel, then I would like to congratulate you. I would like to congratulate myself because we are on the video number 300, guys, and this is the 31st December 2016. So that's amazing. I mean, we have covered 300 powerful videos, right? And I know that if you are new to the channel, then obviously you might be thinking that is it actually so powerful? I mean, do we really have such awesome videos? Then I can tell you, I can bet you go to the channel, you find the videos, because most of the videos I have uploaded, I think 70-80% of the videos I have uploaded only in a reply to your queries which you have asked me through your emails, or which you have asked me through my channel, right? So all videos are pretty awesome. They are practical videos. You can definitely learn a lot from them, right? So congratulations everybody. And I want to also share one more thing, guys, before I just I just take on this the topics. Just 1 minute. I want to really thank you a lot, because again in this December month I'm going to hit almost 140 subscribers. I think it's gonna be 150 because I still have couple of hours to go, and it can not be an achievement for somebody but for us, I think for me it's a big achievement, because last year when I started the channel took some time to grow, and today it is growing like anything. And I can tell you, December was a fantastic month in terms of gaining the subscribers. I never ever had got 140 plus subscribers in any of the month, right? I talked about the previous, I think October, November also in some of my video where I was really doing well, but this was terrific, guys. This was terrific. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for your love. Keep watching, keep enjoying, and don't think twice even if something bothers you in Excel, VBA, Access VBA. Just shoot out your question on me. All right, I'm gonna help you out, I promise on that, right? Okay, so let's come back to the original topic now. I have this couple of formulas which I'm gonna write here in front of you. You might be aware of it, but let's discuss them. Now these are the functions which we're gonna do today. 4 functions. Now you can see that all are actually the functions which has which basically are used to deal with the errors, but where exactly you would like to use them, that's something you need to understand. Okay, now I would first take up the function which is the IFERROR function, guys. Okay, IFERROR function. Now what is the IFERROR function? This function is not available, I think, in 2003 because long time back when I was using 2003, I think this function is not there. So if you are working on Excel 2003, I hope you're not, because that's really now long time back. I'm, by the way, working on Excel 2016. If you're working on 2007, 2010, 2013, you would be fine. You would see all these functions. So what is the IFERROR, guys? IFERROR, when you write the IFERROR, as I always say that when you write the function, be it Excel or Excel VBA or Access VBA, your fundamentals are supposed to be very strong. Now when I say that strong, it means that you can actually, if you know a couple of formulas in Excel, it's very easy for us to learn the other formulas as well, provided you should know that what are these parameters, right? Now if you look at the formula, at the moment I put the open bracket, I have 2 parameters, value and value of error. Simple. It says either you give me the value, or in case if the value is not there and if there is an error, then what would you like to do, right? Now for example, if I write 3 by 0, if I divide 3 by 0, what would be the answer? You know that it is going to generate an error, div, right? So 3 by 0 comes in the value, because 3 by 0 we are looking forward to, to this division, and if this results in an error, then what you write in the value of error, that let's say I'm going to write here anything, let's say all right, I write hello, right? Then what happens when you press enter, 3 by 0 will generate the error, and obviously this parameter, the if error will go in this parameter, because your formula actually results in error. It will stop on the hello and it prints the hello the moment I press enter. As simple as that, right? Now if you do 3 by 3, what happens? 3 by 3 gives you value which is 1, you know that, right? 1 is not an error, so if the error is not there, then obviously it stops at the value. It will not go to the value of error, and you will have an answer called 1. Very simple, right? This is your if error. You can use it with any function. You can use it with the index, VLOOKUP, indirect, any function. That's the best part of it, right? Now let's go to the is error. Now guys, is error is what? Now let me write here 3 and let me write here 0. Okay, let's say that this is your numerator and this is your denominator. I'm going to tell you the difference between the is error and the if error, right? Okay, so now basically when you divide this by this, the error would come, right? I'm again repeating the same thing. So I say that if error, this time we are writing it in a different way. I say that if the value in the L4 is an error, then let's say maybe display K, okay, or otherwise the value in the L4 would come. Now you can see that I got the error. So if I change this to, let's say 4, 3 by 4 certainly will not give you any error, right? So the moment I press enter, you have your value here 0.75, right? Now the thing is, if you talk about the is error, basically is error is a Boolean function. Boolean functions are those functions, guys, which gives you either true or false. Okay, they don't give you anything else. Like in the if error, we talk about when we talk about the if error can give you anything. For example, you can write here anything, right? It can give you the alphabet, it can give you the number also. For example, if I say that, for example, I say if the error comes, then I just want to multiply the numerator with 2, let's say, then what will happen? Now I'm going to write here 0. 3 by 0 will give you the error. The moment you have the error, it returns 6. It's very simple, because you have the error, so numerator is going to be multiplied with 2. So you see that you really don't have true and false coming here. You can write whatever you want in the parameter called value of error. Okay, but generally when we use the is error, we use it to check whether the error is there or not. So it returns always true or false. For example, if I just write here is error, right? You can see here checks whether a value is an error. Now these all errors are covered here, and I think these are really a lot of different varieties of errors. And I have seen NA, I have seen value, I have seen reference, I have seen div, NUM I haven't really seen. Name is also, I have seen. Null I haven't seen, but it almost covers every error. But the important point which you need to understand is it says that checks whether a value is an error and returns true or false. That's very important, right? So it is going to return true and false. So you start the bracket, you select the cell, the value, and that's it. You press enter. You have the true, which means the error is there, right? So if I change this to 3, then see what will happen. You got here false, nothing else. So is error actually is entirely different. Okay, if error is entirely different thing, right? So we are saying that we are going to check whether you are an error or not. But in the if error, we are saying if you are an error, then do this. Okay. Similarly, we have the ISNA function. Now when you write the ISNA function, what is it? Checks whether a value is NA and returns true and false. So basically, guys, ISNA also works the same way as you have this ISERROR. The only difference is, if you see, ISERROR actually checks a lot of errors like NA, value, ref, div, NUM, name, but when you look at the ISNA, it only checks for the NA. So that means if I write here is NA and I select this cell, you know what we are doing here? We are dividing 3 by 3 right now. What you get false, right? But the moment I change this to 0, see this is the error. This is the error, but still you have a false here. Why? Because this is a DIV error, divisible error, right? This is not a NA error, right? NA is basically not applicable, especially when you look up the values, when you use the VLOOKUP, when you try to find out the value from one table to the another table, you know, and you're not able to get those values, you get the NA. But this is not going to work for the DIV. So make sure if you're using the error handler also, you should be using the correct one. Similarly, you have the ISERR. Let me check for the ISERR. What is it? You can see that checks whether a value is an error. Value, ref, div, num, name or null, excluding NA. This is not going to include the NA error. It also works the same way. I'm going to select this, I'm going to press enter, and it says true because this error is a part of this function is error, right? Now if you want to see that how we gonna get the NA error, let me show you. For example, you have here a name called ABC, and there is one more XYZ, okay? And let's say we have their employee ID 344, right? Now this is your table, and I'm going to make one more table just to explain you how you get the NA error. Now let's say I'm going to write here XYZ and one more which is HGD, let's say. Now if you're looking for the employee ID using the main table, you know we use the VLOOKUP. So this is how we use the VLOOKUP, and we go in this table. I'm going to freeze the table, sorry, not F5 but F4. The table is freezed means that I put the dollar signs, and then I go to the second column because I need the employee ID. Well, this is not certainly a video on the VLOOKUP, so I'm not going to explain you on the VLOOKUP. On the VLOOKUP already we have so many videos. The moment I drag this, that's what you get, guys. Now here you don't get this div because this is basically on the division part, okay? And this is basically when you're actually trying to find it out something, right? So now if this is NA, now let's say, now what we want to do, I'm gonna say that you want to check whether it is an error or not. So what you can do, you can simply write before the formula, you can write here is error. That's it. And in the brackets the entire formula goes. Now you see that we have false and true. True means the error is there. So obviously if you are using the VLOOKUP, if you're getting the true, that means this value must not be available in the main table, which is this table, right? Now if you don't want to use the is error and you are going to use is NA, you see that checks whether a value is NA and returns true and false. So that means NA is covered in this, right? So if you press enter, you will get the correct answer. Very nice. But if you use the is error, this one, you see that it says that excluding NA. So guys, in this case, don't use this function, because if you press enter, I think you will get the false again. Oh, that's very bad, right? So you have to decide which function you want to use, right? And if error, obviously I have talked about the if errors a lot in the VLOOKUP videos. If error is something else, I mean, let's say if the error comes, then you want to say that display blank, that's it. So how are you going to write if error? Now it's not a Boolean function, guys, right? It is not going to give you true and false. You can do whatever you want to do. So here you have the second parameter, the comma, value of error. So if this entire function doesn't return the value and it is an error, then what do you want to do? Well, I want to simply display the blank, right? Now in that case, you can, if you drag it down, you will get the blank here. Look at this, the formula is still there. Or maybe if you write here something else, that let's say value not found, then also it is going to work. You can drag it on the upper side also. Look at this, right? The moment I write here something which is not a part of that table, again you will have the value not found. And if I change this to ABC and XYZ, I think we will get the answer. Not I think, but I'm sure actually. So that's how, you know, these are the functions which you need to take care of. If error, is NA, is error. Well, honestly, I never used ISERROR, ISERROR, because most of the time everything is covered in the ISERROR and the IFERROR, right? So these are the functions, you should know about it. And before I wrap up the video, if you want to understand more on the IFERROR and the ISERROR, right, then what we can do is we can take up one simple exercise, and I can tell you how to use the ISERROR with the if function. Because you see, when I say that ISERROR returns false and true, generally most of the time we are not interested in finding it out whether it is an error or not. Based on the error values, false or true, we are interested in doing the different stuff. Okay, now for example, the same example, this one, I'm going to give you a very simple question. The question which I already had put up also. I said that if the name is found, you get me the employee ID of that name from this table, obviously, right? This table, the yellow one. If the name is not there, then simply write there value not found or employee ID not found, whatever you want to write. Maybe I can write employee ID also, that's fine, right? So this is something. Now if you look at this, if you understand my question, then we have just one criteria. We are saying that if the error comes, now if I say that the employee ID not found, what does that mean? Obviously error, otherwise how will you judge, how will you examine that whether the value is there or not? Using the error always. If the error comes, that means the value is not there, and if the error doesn't come, that means the value is there. But just in case if I change my question, guys, now let me ask you this thing. If the employee ID is available in the main table, right, then let's say I'm gonna say that it should print employee ID is there, and if the employee ID is not in the main table, then it should write employee ID not found. Then what will you do, right? Then you can't use the IFERROR. Why? Because now I have changed the question. I'm saying if, let me write here remarks. Here we're gonna do that, right? I'm saying if this employee ID is available in this table, then don't get me the employee ID. Okay, if the name is there, if the employee name is there, don't get me the employee ID, but get me the comment which says that employee name is exists. Employee ID or employee, whatever you want to write, employee name exists. But if it is not there, then it should say it does not exist. You have two conditions. So in that way, IFERROR is not a good choice, because in IFERROR, when you write the IFERROR, it doesn't tell you that what if the value is not the error. Do you see here value if not error? You don't see that parameter, right? So it says either I execute the formula and give you the value, or if the value comes in an error, whatever you write here, I will publish that. But the question is, I don't need the value, I don't need the employee ID. I just want to say if employee name exists there, then get me the comment that the name is there, else name is not there. So in that case, what you will do, first of all, what is the way to check whether this name is available in this table or not? Obviously VLOOKUP, we can check. So I'm going to write here VLOOKUP, right? What is your lookup value? This is, I want to look up in this table. Yes, you don't have to select the second column because we want to find the name, and so I'm going to use the 1, the column number index, and 0, right? So if the name is there, you will get the name back. If you don't, then you will get the error, right? So let me freeze the table, F4 and F4. Okay, now let's drag this. Now you see that you got the ABC and XYZ. So that means error is not there. That's the first thing. If the error doesn't come, we would like to write here name is there. But if the error is there, for example, I change this HYD, you will get the error here. So here now I'm going to put the question. I'm going to put my formula. I'm going to say that is error, right? Are you the error? I'm going to ask this VLOOKUP, are you going to give me the error? VLOOKUP will say yes. In this situation, it will say yes because HYD is not available, right? Similarly, I can drag this also. We will drag it later, but first understand this. Now I'm gonna use ISERROR with the if function. As I was telling you, most of the time we are really not interested in getting the answers as false and true, but based on these false and true, you can make very powerful combinations. Now if the moment I put it with the if, this is how you put if and start the bracket. Some people also call it if ISERROR function. Basically it's a combination of two functions. First you write ISERROR and then you write if. So guys, when you write the if, automatically you will start seeing value true and value false. So now what we're gonna do, I'm gonna put the quotes here. I'm on the parameter called value true. So that means if this function, this function VLOOKUP and after the ISERROR, if this is going to be true, and this will be true when you will have the error. That means, in other words, what you are trying to find it out, it's not available in the table. So if I get the error as true, then what you want to write in the value of true, I'm gonna write here name does not exist. And then you can also write what if the error is not there. That means if the result of this is error VLOOKUP returns false. When it returns false, it means the value is there, that employee name is there. So you're gonna write here name exists. Got to put it within the double quotes because it's a text, right? Otherwise if will not work. Just press enter and there we go, guys. So this is how we use the ISERROR with the if function, and we can certainly put the true criteria and the false criteria, right? And as far as the if error is concerned, we generally write the if error only for the error part, that if the error would come, then publish this, and if the error won't come, then do the calculation. We want the calculation, but in this case you have both the options. You can get the calculation also, you can also display something else, right? For example, if you want that let's say if the error is there, then we should see name does not exist. Otherwise, if the error is not there, then we would like to get the employee ID. Then not a problem, guys. In the false parameter, why don't you go ahead and use another VLOOKUP? So I'm going to use the VLOOKUP here. If the error is not there, then certainly go ahead and pick up this H13 and find it out in this table and get me the second column, exact match 0. That's it. Press enter, and now let me freeze the table and let's go ahead and drag this. There we go, guys. You got the 44, right? I can go to the formula and I can explain you again. Evaluate formula, I always use this. You should also have the habit of using this. This is a wonderful tool. You can break up the formula and you can see how the the results are going to be executed step by step. Every time you click evaluate, the underline item will be executed first. So H14 is underlined, right? I click on the evaluate. What is in the H14? It's XYZ, because we are applying the formula here. So XYZ VLOOKUP is going to find in the table called C10 to C12, and it will go in the first column of that table. So we will see that whether the VLOOKUP is going to give you NA or the name. Click on the evaluate. You got the XYZ, obviously, because XYZ is available here. We got the XYZ and not the error. Now on this XYZ, this underline item ISERROR is going to be executed. So XYZ, are you an error? Of course not. I'm a value, right? So when you click on the evaluate, you get the false. Now guys, when you get the false, what you have said to the if function? You have said to the if function, if the answer comes false, then go ahead and execute this part. Name does not exist will be completely ignored, and that's why you can see that it has already highlighted this H14 also. Now this is going to be executed. I'm going to click on the evaluate. Now this function will do what? This function will execute. It will look up the XYZ in the C to D table and get the second column information. I click on the evaluate and there we go, 44. So 44 is the answer, because 44 is you have written in the false and you got the answer as 44. If you look at this and click on the evaluate, again H13, I click on the evaluate, VLOOKUP. The moment VLOOKUP will pick up this HYD and looks up in the table this C10 to C12, it's not there. So you get the NA. Now in this NA, ISERROR is going to operate. It's gonna check whether you are an error or not. Of course, it is an error. So what you will get? You will get the true. This time you will get the true. Now if you got the true, then you will be picked. You know, this name does not exist, will be picked. The false condition will not. It will be completely ignored. So your answer will stop here on the name does not exist. So I would say ISERROR is a more flexible, but it depends upon the requirement. If you are looking for the two things, that what if error comes, then do this, and what if the error doesn't come, then do this, then certainly you can combine the ISERROR with the if, and you know, you can use the if ISERROR function. But if you have a requirement that if the error comes, then do this, otherwise give me my value back, whatever the formula executes, we are just interested in, you know, retrieving that value, then I think IFERROR is a very cool option. It can be used with any function, right? So I mean, the point is, if you know the formulas only, then you can think. If you don't know the formulas, then you will not think, right? So you will not be so analytical. To be a good, you know, on the analysis side, you got to have a lot of functions in your pocket. So I just wanted to, you know, make you familiar with all these functions, and it's a good thing we did the exercise also. I hope your concepts would be clear on that. So that's it, guys, and it's 31st January, December, I'm sorry, Jan 1st is just to come. I want to wish you all very, very happy new year, and definitely in the coming year also we will definitely keep this learning ongoing, and I really pray that you will have a wonderful year ahead in terms of your, you know, prosperity, and in terms of your Excel learning as well. Thank you so much, and don't forget to subscribe. I will be back soon. Thank you. Bye bye.